Hey, what is going on, everybody? I had recorded a short little video about this topic, but I think it's worth a longer sort of podcast form. It'll be a solo podcast. I got a few interviews coming up that I'm excited about as we are coming up here on the start of the season. We got maybe 3-ish weeks till the season, 2-3 weeks till the season starts. Tryouts will be coming up here in a couple of weeks. So football season's winding down, at least in high school, and high school basketball, college basketball, the NBA, it's all getting going. An interesting dynamic I have noticed is happening in high school basketball recruiting. If you are not a top 10 player in the state, and even if you're a top 10 player, this is really important, just to be totally clear. But we get fed so much information about the amount of money that is involved in NIL and all these high level D1 programs and these budgets and guys are getting paid all this, blah, blah, blah. And there are some programs that are not these top, these blue blood programs that do have good NIL money. If you're being recruited by them, that's great. If you're one of the 99% of the other people who are not getting recruited with NIL as part of it, then this is going to be really important to know. There are schools, some, not all schools, that are facing budget cuts, especially across various states. Not getting political about it, I'm just telling you that there are budget cuts that have hit higher education in the US. And this is going to impact basketball programs across the board. And I've noticed this happening more and more with just in talking with coaches, especially some JUCO, some NAIA, Division III, Division II. Division III it's still being impactful, but we don't get a lot of Division III opportunities here in Utah just because there's no schools in the state, or there's really only one Division III school in a connecting state, and that would be Colorado College in Colorado Springs. So, but Division II, NAIA, junior college, on down the list. And this is highlighting the need to make sure that your academics are top notch. Here's what I mean. So, basketball coaches have to get creative if they're going to try to get players to come and not have to pay or not pay much for college. And when you have a much bigger budget, then you can afford to, maybe take a flyer on someone. Not the case. I was talking to one coach and he said, I really like this player, but it's going to cost me the equivalent of 2 scholarships because a player's GPA wasn't very good. So the amount of money has shrunk at a lot of these places, which means that if you're going to be able to get money to go there, you're going to need to have a great GPA. You're going to need to have a community service. You're going to need to apply for other scholarships. You're going to need to, take the ACTs, take the SATs. Those can help as well. The more non-basketball money that you can bring as a potential scholarship basketball player, the easier you are to recruit. Let me say that again. The more non-basketball value or money and value are tied that you can bring, the easier you are going to be to recruit. Now, you still have to be good at basketball. But there are going to be opportunities for players who are not as good, but are still good and have good GPAs, have good test scores. They've done all the right. These opportunities are going to be available for players like that in the near future. It's just going to happen. And so if you are a parent or maybe you're a player and you're entering into 6th, 7th, 8th grade, whatever it is, or you're just starting your freshman year, if you are a freshman in high school right now, the best thing that you can do for your recruiting when you become a junior and a senior is this: pay attention in class. Don't skip classes. Go to school, right? Like, turn in your homework on time. Study for your tests. Get a good GPA is outside of all the basketball stuff. This is a way for a basketball coach to go to their admissions department. Think about it. They have to be able to go to their admissions department and say, hey, I'm trying to get this player to come play basketball for me. And they can say, oh, yeah, well, we have scholarships available for this. We have scholarships available for that. We can do this. We can get sort of creative because you have paid attention in the classroom, because you did well on your standardized testing. This going forward, and like I said, unless you're just an insane basketball player, you are a ridiculous athlete and everybody wants you. Of course, academics are still important, but they're just gonna find a way. If that's not you, and like I said, this is 99% of the players that I watch. This is a big point. The other thing is you can start to look at and apply for other scholarships that are not tied to athletics through various means in order to make yourself more recruitable. You can start to save money. Because if you're not familiar with it, there's a thing called WUI, the Western Undergraduate Exchange, which I wasn't made aware of until a few months ago. And essentially, this is a bunch of states that have come together and said, okay, if you live in Utah, then you will get reduced tuition at some schools in Colorado. And you can see exactly what the tuition is at the junior colleges, at the Division II, at the Division I schools. And maybe it's up in Idaho, maybe it's in Colorado, maybe it's in, I think, Washington might have one. But for sure, Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado are all part of this Western undergraduate exchange program. So what I would recommend doing, let's say you're a freshman or a sophomore, or you're just starting your junior year, go look at all of the schools that are part of this. See who has basketball programs. Start to reach out to the coaches, and you can let them know. If tuition is now reduced to $10,000 a year, you are a recruitable athlete from a financial perspective if you can also go get academic money. Because now you have the WUI money, now you have your academic money, and you're a good basketball player. You've been in the weight room, you've been working, you've been training, you're doing all the stuff. You did this cert, you did everything basketball-wise. You can't suck at basketball and be recruited to play basketball. I hope that I can make that very clear. But, which is a totally subjective thing. I'm just saying, if nobody wants you to come play basketball for them, maybe you're not as good as you think. But start to look at all of these schools in under the WUI program and piece together what it might be. So maybe your family says, hey, listen, we can afford $5,000 a year. We can afford $10,000 a year for you to go to college. And then you have the WUI money, and then you have some academic money. And then the coach is looking at you going, you know what? I only got to come up with $5,000 a year for this player. That's it. That I like that. Instead of $25,000 a year. And then he's like, you know what, for 25 grand a year, I can go find this player, whatever it is. There are budgets and financial constraints that are in place, and they're getting tighter at a lot of these universities. Budgets are getting cut. And so you have to be prepared to make yourself marketable. And part of that marketability is the coach and your ability to be less expensive for the team. And the biggest way to do that, 10 minutes in, I've said this now probably 25 times. The biggest way to do that is your GPA, is your academics, and being clear in communication about what your plans are after high school. If you're going to go on a mission, communicate that. Don't be afraid to communicate that with the coaches, because they're going to be frustrated if they're spending time with you thinking that you're going to be a player who's going to be playing next year and you're going to be playing in 2 years. Just be honest. They're going to appreciate that more than being vague and ambiguous. Well, I'm not really sure. And if that's true, if you're not really sure, then be not really sure. But if you're like, no, I'm definitely going to go take a mission, but I'm just going to say this in case the best opportunity comes up and maybe I want to take, you know what, if you're going to take them, then go on your mission. Right? Like, but you have to be honest with coaches about that stuff. You just have to be. And pay attention in the classroom. There are players for sure right now that I know of who are losing out on opportunities. Plenty of opportunities because their freshman, sophomore, and junior year, they did not pay attention in the classroom. They didn't turn their stuff in on time. They didn't show up to class. They skipped class. They didn't take their ACTs. They didn't take their SATs. And now they are losing out on opportunities to play basketball. Don't let that be you or your kid. Do not let the classroom be the reason why you can't play college basketball. And it's happened before, and it's getting worse as these budgets are being restricted. All right. So obviously do all the basketball stuff. Got to keep doing the basketball stuff. But as a parent walking through this thing, I will tell you, this is very real. And you ought to be paying attention to it. If you're not, you're setting yourself up for failure. All right. I'm just listen to your coaches, listen to your parents, listen to your teachers. The classroom is a bigger deal than you think. All right, everyone, go check out the rankings. Check out what we got going on. We got some more content coming. I got some more interviews scheduled. As always, if there's something that's wrong, please just tell me. You can email me. There's a contact us form now on there. If I got your height wrong, then tell me and I'll fix it. If I got your school wrong because you transferred, then tell me and I'll fix it. If I got a school in 4A that's supposed to be in 5A, just tell me and I'll fix it. I'm trying to, but I can't know everything about everybody. I'm only one person. So please, this is like a crowdsourcing effort. So please help me out. Send me a note and I will fix it. What was that? Fix it, Felix? Can we fix it? Yes, we can. All right, everyone. Have a great day.